previously on
Local.
24. Look, I don't have time to explain, but some very bad things are happening tonight.
Every beach in the West has managed to win a coveted blue flag this year, despite the wet summer.
My dad is a government agent.
More than 50 firefighters have been dealing with a serious fire at a disused hotel in Ilfracombe.
Fire brigade cut open a car today.
2004 was the year people fell apart in public. Who can forget Paula Radcliffe, incapable of taking good-natured taunts from Athenians?
I don't know what's gone wrong there. The crowd in the stadium are trying to...
Taxi for Radcliffe! Taxi for Radcliffe! Taxi for Radcliffe!
Keep going, which is clearly in trouble.
It was the year the Pope started melting. Eventually all that was left behind was a head and a cassock. Only Andrew Marr kept his dignity.
It's impossible to imagine, frankly, a worse breach of security. This place is supposed to be very tight. Those armed police we heard about a moment ago guarding the chamber are all of about 4 or 5 yards away from me now. But talk about closing the stable door.
We've paid 5 people to sum up the year.
Hotten, Titmus, Chow, Suede, good times, mistrust, bad times.
Could you say it's been a great year for television?
I think it's been...
No, could you say it's been a great year for television?
Yes.
Could you say it's been a great year for television?
It's been a great year for television.
Thank you.
And your name is?
Paul Morehouse.
And the last time around you chose Mary Anning of Lyme Regis as your specialist subject. Tonight you are choosing the television series Thunderbird and Lady Penelope's Cockney Chauffeur. 2 minutes starting now. In the television series Thunderbirds, what was the name of Lady Penelope's Cockney Chauffeur? Might as well take a guess. I shall have to tell you.
The US election pitted John Kerry, a man who looked like Russ Abbott, against Bush, a man who walked like a toothbrush was shoved up his arse. Bush was struggling. The economy was faltering, cameras caught his motorcade driving over a tramp, and the war was going badly. There was only one way he and his party could get America to vote for him.
In the heart of this great city, we saw tragedy arrive on a quiet morning. September the 11th. September the 11th. September the 11th.
September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th.
September 11th. September 11th.
September 11th. September 11th.
September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th.
September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11, 2001.
Saddam Hussein.
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 Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons programs.
The deadliest of weapons.
Terrible weapons.
Nuclear weapons.
Tyranny and terror.
Terror of threats.
Terror.
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 War on terrorism.
War against terrorism.
Global war on terror.
Global terrorism. 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 Global terrorism.
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 Terrorism. Terrorism.
Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism.
The evil terrorists. 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 Terrorists.
Terrorist. 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 Terrorist.
Terrorist.
Terrorists.
Terrorists.
Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists. Terrorists.
The climate of fear has just turned me into even more of a racist, which I didn't think was possible.
Olympics. What was all that about?
What a bit of punting from Gan. He's got him again.
Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. He's finding his range and rhythm right from the word go. The Crean doesn't know where he is.
The veteran was handed a boxing lesson. What a sweet shot. Down he goes to his knees. And the Korean certainly doesn't know where he is. Well, a lot of Portuguese fans behind that goal.
I thought before he kicked it, I really hope he kicks it in the goal. I really hope he kicks it and scores a goal. And when he didn't, I thought, no, he's missed.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to be a little bit more entertaining if you want this observation about Beckham penalty to go out.
Okay.
Where Beckham's taking this. Hold tight. Oh, he's put it miles over the bar. He sliced it, Joe.
It looks like we have a no-shoot, sir. Number 200.
Deco.
Well, it's well wide. I was just going to say, what you do make sure is that you hit the target.
Welcome to the weakest link.
My name is Amika Grant. I was a contestant on the weakest link.
Do you want to pronounce your name for me?
Amika.
Amika.
Before we started recording, no one was allowed to go to the toilet for 9 hours to create tension. One of the other contestants wet himself during a question about dialing codes.
What do you do?
I'm a telephonist. I knew I was in for a tough time when I was introduced to Anne. She lifted my blouse and ran her bristly face up and down my back, giving me a very uncomfortable rash. It was like insect hair.
Valpolicella is a red wine from which European country?
Italy. The lights on the audience are low because Anne likes to fire an air pistol into the crowd between rounds and doesn't want to see who she's hit in case she's accused of gender or racial bias. OK, and your address, please.
Oh, I don't want to give out my address because I'm a celebrity.
OK. Anne made a point of saying she was a celebrity, but she isn't. She's just a hairy-faced, alcoholic, bad mother with an inflated view of her own ability and a string of mediocre television programmes.
Ring, ring.
Rushmore taxis.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
At the after-show party, she insisted on using me as her taxi, riding around the green room on my back. She only stopped when somebody brought in a basket of puppies, which she killed with a hammer. All the staff had to cheer every time she cracked one of their tiny skulls, and with every blow she cried, ring, 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 ring.
Ring, 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 ring.
The Iraq War, what was all that about?
Well, it was about the...
Just days before the election, Osama bin Laden sent a tape to Al Jazeera.
Well, a few moments ago I spoke to Jihad Balloo from Al Jazeera Television, who explained how they got hold of that tape in the first place.
I don't know, we just got it, you know, like, received it, yeah.
When you say you received it, how did you receive it?
Just came through the door with some, like, pizza menus and stuff like that.
Well, it just arrived at your front door?
Yeah, I think everyone in the street got one, so, you know. And Barry said we should, like, put it on the computer, chop it about a bit, you know, edited, that kind of thing.
And then you say you went through a process of editing. What form does that take?
Well, we cut out all the most boring stuff for a start, right, like talking and stuff like that. Then we just done some wicked effects, like explosions and fire and stuff like that to make it more scarier, you know.
So you haven't put the whole statement out?
No, it was totally boring and crap, man. We might put the full version on the DVD, but...
What did you think was the most important thing that he said?
To be honestly frank with you, Matthew, right, I didn't really understand a lot of it. It was just gibberish to me, man. I just do the editing, you know, and that's it, really.
But you didn't have any doubts about broadcasting it?
No way, man, because it's wicked, you know. Especially with all the scary effects and stuff we've done on it, I think it looks really good.
The technical quality of it, from this distance and looking at the monitor in front of us here, is actually looks very good to me and looks rather better than some of the previous tapes.
Thanks very much, yeah. Well, that's mainly down to Barry. Oh, yeah, look, Barry. And I'm on the phone. Sorry. Yeah, I think if people like it, that's the main thing.
New question.
In the first presidential debate, George Bush at last had the chance to get away from the war on terror and discuss everything else.
North Korea and Iran, taking them in any order you would like.
Let me first, we're facing let me finish. I have September the 11th.
So this is the kitchen. I know you've had a problem with the lighting, you were telling me before.
Yeah. Well, because we've got that thing, is it a rose or something? Well, I've never found anything to put in it.
Well, we've got two choices with that. We can take it away, we could cover it up. Now, one of our guys could easily cover, in fact, you could do this, Bill, easily cover that up with a box. What you really need is lampshades, several of them, lighting from the top, next layer, and then lower level lighting as well. Have you ever thought of that?
You go for a lampshade in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see, exactly. That's what surprises you. Most people don't at all, do they? So we've created a little bit. We've got a little bit of vision for the kitchen now. Now let's do exactly the same in the lounge. If in the kitchen we could be creative, in here I really feel I can get my teeth into something, so come around, because I want to start actually with this mantelpiece. This to me, and I'll be honest, and I don't mean to offend, but it does say a little bit cheap, and we can make your house look a lot more expensive. But what doesn't help is clutter. What you don't need in your home is clutter, because clutter is messy, it's dusty. It's something that we should get rid of. You've got a lot of clutter. Now, what's the story behind, first of all of these drums that are on the floor? Where'd you get these from?
Well,
drum shop.
I do actually. I'm a bit of a drum enthusiast.
Well, I think it's cute to keep a few. To keep a lot, it is just mess. So let's clear some of that up. But keep a few just so you're happy, and then you're certainly happy because it's easier to clean around them, isn't it? Yes. OK. But one thing I do want to move on to is just over here. Now, over here, you've got the 1970s sort of Terry and June lamp. Now, that needs to go. We need to layer the light from the top all the way down. It's a burnt orange, but frankly, it's not the right sort of burnt orange that we want. Not
In March, relations between the government and the BBC were at an all-time low, caused first by this controversial Panorama programme, and then by the Hutton report.
Lord Hutton is ready.
Now, here is a joke which my dear little grey-haired mother used to tell me so many years ago whenever I had trouble getting off to sleep. Now, unlike tonight, when I'm having trouble staying awake. Had a very sheltered life, and my first rude awakening to the seamier side of life came one night, strange enough, when I was round a girl's house playing a game of chess, you know. Now, she'd just got one of her pawns all the way to my end of the board, and I rather foolishly asked her if she wanted to make a night of it. Now, no groans, please, they get worse.
But with no WMD found, pressure was back on Blair at his party conference.
Judgments aren't the same as fact. Instinct is not science.
In his speech, Blair claimed he was right to go with his instincts, even if his instincts later proved to be wrong.
I only know what I believe.
It's great. There's a lot of people nowadays, aren't there, the nanny state, you know, telling us we shouldn't do particular things because they're factually wrong to do and that there are basic fundamental arguments why they will not work. And to see a Prime Minister say, I'm not interested in facts. I'm not interested in facts and accurate information. I'm just going to go with this kind of mad idea I've got. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, you know, Johnny Rotten would do.
I only know what I believe.
So like Evel Knievel trying to jump over the Grand Canyon, you know, people said to him, you can't do that. You can't get enough acceleration on a motorbike to jump over the Grand Canyon. And he said, well, why? And they went, well, because of wind speed and velocity and gravity and various scientific things. And he went, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And if you remember, he was killed trying to do that, but he did do it, even though it was wrong. It was wrong, and there was no way it could work.
I only know what I believe.
The thing about the iPod, I think that most people will have to address at some point, both the people who make it and the people who buy it, is the fact that when a battery runs out, stop moving me, you have to buy a whole new thing.
Afternoon, Mary. 2 gigabytes of iPod for you today?
Yes, please.
How's that? Just a couple of songs over.
Lovely, thanks. Oh, and can I get a tub of those headphones, please?
The ones in red currant jelly?
Yes, please. Thanks very much. Oh, and a quarter of mini iPods and a quarter of memory sticks, please.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Come and make some money.
My name's Louis Spence. I was a contestant on In It to Win It with Dale Winton.
Welcome to Winners Row.
You're looking great, mate.
So
Thank you very
are
much.
you, my friend.
Thank you. Dale always spoke to the producer and director in German, so he wouldn't know what he was saying. I did a little German at school, but he spoke so quickly I could only make out 2 words. Folterung, meaning torture, and Tauben, pigeons.
This show is all about being in the right place at the right time.
Dale's very competitive, kept insisting if he was in the quiz he'd clean up. Then he'd drop to the floor and do as many one-armed press-ups as he could till he passed out, which was about 3.
What would you do with the money?
Well, I'd definitely get a new guitar for the band. When Dale found out I was a singer, he kept asking how many bitches I'd nailed. And that's not me. I'm happily married. But he kept going on and on about how he'd love to take the show on the road and give it to the hoes.
Let's have a look at this one.
In rehearsal, Dale showed me his tattoo of a Jaffa cake on his ankle. He said it looked sweet and that he got it done when he was in San Quentin.
OK, let's whack it up a bit more. Let's make it £50,000.
At one point, Dale Winton said he had my son and daughter-in-law in a lock-up garage and would order a man to puncture their lungs one by one unless I told him he was brilliant.
Can we just say you were absolutely brilliant?
A few weeks after the recording, I got a bullet through the post.
In the end, Kerry may have lost the election by being far too wordy.
So here is our economic plan to build a stronger America. First, reduce the cost to American taxpayers, reduce the risk to American soldiers, every tool in our arsenal, our economic as well as our military might, our principles as well as our firepower, our strength, our diversity, our love of country, family, faith, hard work, opportunity and responsibility for all. Every child, every adult, every parent, every worker in America, people are working weekends, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they're still not getting ahead. New incentives to revitalize manufacturing.
back. You are watching BBC News 24 with Valerie Sanderson and Peter Dobby. In a moment, more on that ASBO story that we've had today here on this channel, the government's decision to extend the scheme beyond the initial 10 pilot areas. That's after a reminder of the headlines. Here's Val.
That's Pete. The Palestinian leader, Yasser Arafat.
You know, we live in an amazing place. These lumps of earth we call the British Isles, and it's chock full of surprises. On fire! Just look at that.
Sights to take your breath away.
Keeping low so that I don't frighten them all off. Yes, I know I'm wearing red, but provided I don't stand up above the horizon and interrupt the skyline, they shouldn't see me and start lolloping off into the sea. Why?
Oi, Titchmarsh! This is my land! Get off!
The 10 o'clock news now on BBC One with Hugh Edwards and Riz Latif.
At Westminster, relations between Blair and his Chancellor were at an all-time low. And at Labour's party conference, it was clear that Blair and Brown had completely opposing agendas.
I tell you, conference.
Up and
down.
Go.
Stop.
Worsen.
Better.
Undemocratic.
Democratic.
Women.
Men.
Fathers.
Mothers.
Parents.
Children.
Halving.
Doubling.
Double.
Half.
Few.
Many.
Poverty.
Wealth.
Richest.
Poorest.
Wealth and privilege.
Poverty.
Bust.
Boom.
Boom.
Bust.
Public.
Private.
Lowest.
Highest.
Good.
Not good enough.
The future.
The past.
A winning.
Losing.
Best.
Worst.
Difficult.
Easy.
Success.
Failings.
Popular.
Intensely irritating.
Together.
Alone.
We are.
We're not.
We can.
We won't.
We must.
You can't.
I have.
We haven't.
I have and will.
Believe me, I looked for it. You can't.
I will.
I wouldn't.
We must.
We won't.
We can.
We're not.
I say. We will. 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 We will.
Well, we won't.
But our history began 3 billion years ago, right down there. And next time, that's where I'm beginning this long and fascinating story. Way back then.
Titchmarsh! I'm gonna kill you with a rake!
Previously on
Local
24. Look, I don't have time to explain, but some very bad things are happening tonight.
Thousands of sheep right across the country, worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, have been reported missing.
My dad is a government agent.
A Christmas tree has been put up in Taunton.
It'll be a breezy day with the odd spot of drizzle.
In February, the Diana Memorial Fountain hit the headlines when the designers had to explain why they'd incorporated a field of landmines in its design.
Yes, it spoilt our day, really.
There should be a fountain for her, and a fountain is the ideal kind of memorial. I don't know why I think a fountain is rather than the statue. I just believe that to be the case. And I'm prepared to fight anyone who thinks that a statue or a garden would have been better. I think the fountain's obviously the best thing.
Any water-related slippage or careening out of control is not what she was about.
It should be just a simple thing, and that's why my proposal is that it's just me lying on my back in Hyde Park naked near the site of the original fountain with a colander over my genitals, and then every hour on the hour I'll urinate up through that and a kind of fountain will come out.
If you're skipping or hurtling in wet arenas or areas or whatever you like to call them, you might injure yourself. And I think we've learnt that this year.
It's a big lesson.
Yeah, it's the slipping can happen.
Yeah.
There can be slippiness when wettiness.
On to the Tory party, and 2004 saw them try to look more human by making a promotional video in which shadow cabinet members were asked questions like, do you remember your first kiss? And what was the last CD you bought?
I think it was a Meatloaf CD.
The greatest hits of R.E.M.
Rolling Stones, Jump Back.
mother fucking twat. Fucking nuts. Tight. Piss hole. I'm coming in your face.
I make no apology for taking a hard line of cocaine.
I want to give school uniforms to David Davis, Oliver Letwin, and the deputy leader of the Labour Party.
That's why they need to be fucked up. All day, all week, all the year round.
I'm going to a fantasy land because I want to be shackled. I want to be handcuffed and penetrated by Swedish policemen. I can't stand Tony Blair, but Cos is a fucking twat.
Time to look at what goes on inside sports people's heads. First up, what precisely was going through Paula Radcliffe's mind which caused her to pull out of the marathon?
Clearly struggling, but clearly working, and the one thing you'll know for certain is she'll work every inch of the way.
We can take a train, fly a plane.
She's clearly in trouble, clearly distressed.
You could be playing face fit.
That's enough. She can't keep going.
Absolute turmoil.
Her Olympic dream is over. What a sad sight. I don't know what's gone wrong there.
It's cruel. It is really cruel.
Check out the Pentagon Channel, serving those who serve.
Coming up on Freedom Journal Iraq, service members celebrating Thanksgiving and destroying munitions in Balad.
While America was fighting its own election, it was bringing democracy to Iraq.
And listen to your candidates speak. If you can't hear them, it's your fault.
The editor of the Daily Mirror resigned after publishing photographs showing British troops torturing Iraqi prisoners that were clearly fake. Meanwhile, the Pentagon continued to play down the abuse of naked prisoners in Abu Ghraib.
We were helping them make a gay porn film. Gay porn is part of Muslim culture.
What you don't see in that photo is the GI on the bottom of the pile of naked bodies handing out sweets.
Welcome back to Britain's Best Chip Pan Fire. Here to present the award for the Best Chip Pan Fire of 2004 is Quentin Wilson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The nominations for Best Chip Pan Fire of 2004 are
Sarah Cartledge for her chip pan fire in an aviary. Paul Hammers for his chip pan fire in a video shop. And Richard Ankles for his brilliant chip pan fire in a massage parlour.
And the winner is Lisa Davis for her devastating chip pan fire in Leeds.
Johnny and Denise, magic.
Generally agreed that this was the year in which the reality TV bubble finally burst. For example, the very last episode of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here had only 400 viewers. And yet, in years to come, the date that will be remembered is the 26th of November 2004. For on that day, something happened that will change television forever. And it all happened in this big blue carton behind me. On that date, 7 celebrities were invited to take part in a new reality project called The Room Show, in which top personalities are locked in a room for 10 hours doing very little. What no one asked was, would it be filmed? It wasn't. I suppose we can only guess at what it must have been like in here, because as I said, we didn't film it. While they were locked up in here, we went off to edit that Beckham thing that you saw earlier. For an hour, Eddie the Eagle Edwards and Ian McCaskill made Christmas cards from Polaroids of each other. Here we see the remnants of an hour David Van Day from Dollar and Tessa Sanderson spent blowing up 140 balloons. And here's bits of a chopped-up map of Surrey, which Linda Lasardi and Paul Daniels' son Martin spent an hour putting together.
Oh, page 3 girl Zoe Anderson. I didn't mention her.
At some point during the day, 2 local fellas came to kick a ball against the side of the tank. And then a breakthrough. Some of the celebrities had used camcorders inside the room to film each other.
Oh, good. We're just working out how to, you have to use the camera so we can film him up.
With this footage, a member of the public verified the event had taken place.
Ian McGaskill, Tessa Sanderson, Eddie the Eagle again, and I don't know who the other 2 are.
Unfortunately, the tapes they used were then recorded over by us for a The Streets parody that's coming up later. There now exists no visual record of the day.
All life is transitory. We cannot stop the clock, hold back the hour, cease the passing of the moment. Unless, of course, we film it, which in this case, we didn't.
In the end, the 7 celebrities have said more to us about the existential nature of reality than any filmed entertainment ever could. And for that, we must all thank them. Science now, and Britain's year started off utterly badly as the satellite Beagle 2 disappeared on the surface of Mars. Here's how the aftermath was broken on BBC News.
It all started well enough with a perfect launch in June 2003. But today an internal inquiry found that the Beagle project was underfunded at the start. Scientists spent too much time fighting for money. There was poor management, people didn't know who was in charge, and there was inadequate testing of equipment.
I don't have a regret about anything that I did. I don't think the Beagle project is over.
So what might have gone wrong? Well, the last communication from Beagle was on the 19th of December when it left the mothership Mars Express. The first possibility is it may have burnt up on entry. The heat sheet may have failed. Now, the atmosphere was less dense than expected, meaning Beagle could have been going too fast. If it was descending too quickly, the airbags might have failed to open in time or could have become punctured on the surface.
How did you feel when Beagle 2 disappeared without trace on the surface of Mars?
I don't think a dog should be sent into space at that kind of distance.
It was a satellite, it wasn't an animal.
It was a satellite, there wasn't a dog in it.
No. It was called Beagle after Charles Darwin's ship, Beagle 1.
Charles Darwin had a ship called Beagle?
Yeah, Beagle 1.
Well, you know, sending a 18th century ship into space is inevitably going to lead to problems. There's a whole load of technology has been developed since Darwin went exploring.
No. Charles Darwin's ship was called Beagle.
Yes.
And so as a tribute to him, they thought that the satellite should be called Beagle 2.
Well, there are better ways of paying tribute to Charles Darwin, who did a lot of good work, than sending a dog to Mars.
Well, they have proved that they can spell with speed and accuracy. Now they must spell under pressure. Reggie, your word.
Cunnilingus.
Can I have the definition, please?
Oral stimulation of the clitoris or vulva.
C-A-N.
No. It wasn't a memorial to Charles Darwin. It's just that Charles Darwin's boat was called Beagle 1, so they thought, as a sort of homage to his pioneering spirit, while they were setting up an expedition to see if there was life on Mars, they might as well call the satellite Beagle 2.
Well, they should, and they should call it Beagle 2, and there should be a memorial to Charles Darwin.
But on Mars?
On Mars or anywhere. It should be a garden. A garden would be appropriate for Charles Darwin, not a fountain. That would be wrong. And I would fight anyone that thinks there should be a fountain for Charles Darwin. There should be a garden, because he was a naturalist. He wasn't interested in fountains. He abhorred them.
All it flipping takes is a couple of mistakes and you're left with no bird and wee on your shoes. I'd been out to a club with my mates for a dance to take pills and drink pilsner as in booze. I bet you didn't buy the flipping light bulb for the lav. My girlfriend Tina shouts as I come in the door. Oh nay, she's right, I was so mashed I just forgot. And now she's proper going mental cause she asked me twice before. Things have been going a bit EastEnders with her recently, by which I mean quite boring with her shouting constantly. She's pissed off cause I pissed on the toilet seat again last night. I was pissed, so when I pissed I missed cause there was no light. And she said, "Try the seat, mate. You say it's hard to aim at night with no light, but for Christ's sake, what if I want to do a poo? Dry the seat, mate, or even better, lift it before you pee, you twat, or I will kick you out of the flat."
Do you mind if I look away from you? Like, pretty much 80% of the time.
Why is my face an issue?
I just find it difficult to think of words and take in your face at the same time.
Could you look at this child then?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Music.
There's a lot of it.
It's all right. She's asleep.
She ill?
No. She just...
Why is she bruised?
It's Calpol.
What?
Calpol.
Round her eye?
Yeah.
She's bruised.
No. It's the new...
Why is there a child in here?
I say, all right, I've got the message. Okay, yes, oh yay. She says, "Why do you talk in that bizarre town crier way? What are you insultuating? That I'm like a gay," I say. "Just lift the seat," she says, "and promise not to spray." She slams the door on me, and I think, nah mate, this is shite. Things have been Pete Tong so long they'll never be Steve Wright. I move my hand down to my fly and release my winkle. Take aim at the bedroom door in protest and begin to tinkle. And then I wake up to find it's just a dream. I must admit I'm quite relieved, but then I hear a scream. I've weed the bed again, and Tina's saying, "Right, that's it. I want you out of here today, you revolting tit." Dry your thighs, mate. Then get out of my flat, you piss twat, and don't bother arguing. I'm sick of the drugs and the noise and the smell. Pack your bags, mate, and you might want to be thinking of giving up drinking, you loser.
The Ice Age. But what's an ice age really like?
It's bitterly cold and absolutely silent. A featureless landscape, a panorama of ice and snow.
Titchmarsh is guilty! Burn him!